and welcome to this episode of the Reset Podcast. I'm your host, Laura Mignot, and this is part of my 29 Days of Magic podcast series where I get to interview 29 phenomenal Black women. And today I am delighted to have Aasiyah Abdulsalam, who's the founder of the Renatural, on the show. I'm delighted to hear her incredible story, so let's dive right in. Hi, Aasiyah, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I'm so delighted to have you on. I'm gonna jump right in. First question, always the same. Answers always amazing. Yours, I'm sure, will be no different. What was your all-time favorite job?
Technically, I've only had 3, so I would say the one that I have now, being the founder of the Renatural.
Awesome. All right, so 3, only 3. That means that you're quite young. Oh my gosh.
No. I just fell into jobs and I can be pretty committed, so yeah.
See, listen, consistency is key with everything. So we got to the Renatural. What was the journey of those consistent other 2 jobs that got us to where we are right now?
Sure. So first was in university. I'm 5 foot, so I tailor a lot of my clothes. So I used to make a lot of items myself. That led to me making clothes for other people. And then within a year, we were stocked in Topshop. We were doing nearly £500,000 in revenue. That was my first foray into business. I love fashion, but I'm definitely like not a designer. So after a couple of years, I met a manufacturer who wanted to buy a manufacturing end, and that was kind of my first stumble into business, stumble into a semi-exit. It was, looking back, I could have done so many things better, but you live and you learn. And then my second job was an internship at Turing Talent. So it identified great tech talent around the world and connected them with US jobs. This was great. The founder of that company and my coworker, there are only 4 of us in the company, they're actually angel investors in the Renatural. So looking back, I don't even think I mentioned it, but I must have been like nonstop mentioning it because the fact that they're still part of my journey is just phenomenal. And then now I'm at the Renatural.
I love how this is like the world's fastest but easiest. Like, yep, this is what happened. Yep,
definitely not
y'all mad
that I'm like packaging up in that, but yeah.
So so had you always sewn when you were younger, or like, because how are you out just tailoring clothes for yourself?
So this is like back in the day, I had a bit of a Tumblr following, so I used to post my outfits on there, and that's where it got traction. I'm self-taught. I love YouTube University, so yeah.
That's amazing. And okay, yeah, definitely not 5, because you actually used Tumblr back when it was for a brief time. That was a vibe, and there was so many really awesome folks. I don't think we even called them influencers back then. We were just like people I followed on Tumblr, and it would be the most random stuff. Like I followed a lot of travel people, and so yeah, that's awesome. So tell us about the Renatural and what you're doing today.
Yeah, of course. So the Renatural invents new products for the wig industry. We want to make wigs a true beauty product. So everyday, wearable, effortless. Our first product was a wig fix. It's the only way to secure your wig that also promotes natural hair growth underneath. We invented and launched that in 2020. And now we're working on launching our first wig product. And we have dove into the deep end. We actually built a robot that makes our wigs end to end in Brooklyn, New York. So yeah, you can come in, get your wig made, and we don't use lace. We use a bamboo polymer base. It's 3 times thinner than lace, so it gives you a hyper-realistic look and feel, and you can live your true life in it and be super active. So that's what we're working on. I love this reaction.
You have a wig robot?
In Brooklyn, yeah.
Okay.
You need to come and see it now that I know you're
yeah. I mean, I'm downtown, so I need to come see the. Okay, yeah. Where does the idea of like, okay, we're gonna figure out a way to manufacture this, but okay, let's build a wig robot. Where does that how?
Yeah, so during my undergrad, I study geography, and there's a methodology called Follow the Thing. So it's where you embody an inanimate object and write about your life history. I'm really big into consumer now, so it really gives you a really good insight on the manufacturing behind it, the geopolitical ties, like the regulations behind a singular product. Everyone did like MacBooks and Converses. I decided to do wigs because I thought it would be like more of a page turner. I became obsessed. So I moved to South Korea to work at a wig factory for 6 months while finishing my degree. And it was there I got to see how and why things are the way they are, learn a lot about the history, the effects, the lack of customer feedback loop. And I think I was way more cocky back then. I was like, I could do this so much better. It's very labor intensive. And when you see a repetitive, monotonous action, my first thought was, how do I automate this to create a better customer experience?
And so the robot was born.
So the actually left Korea, went back to the UK, did another degree, started my first business, sold my first business, started the wig fix, did that for a few years, and then the robot was born. So definitely been like a feature in my career so far.
I have so many questions. Okay. So, all right. We've got this amazing wig robot because again, I'm obsessed with the idea that there's a wig robot in Brooklyn and I need to come see it. So, but more importantly, so how are people finding you? Who are your customers? Because obviously our hair, especially women of color with regards to our hair, it is a touchy subject. But also different cultures as well with regard to how they have to keep their hair covered. I'm sure you have a wide variety of clients who come your way. How are folks finding you, and like what's been that experience? And again, in a very deeply personal industry, and you're making that experience feel far more human. How have you found that?
Yeah, so when I first started, I was connected to a few influencers at the time. So one of them was Patricia Bright, and that was like our first kind of upsurge, like in orders, and got like 2,000 orders overnight due to her posting it, and it was just insane. And then I lived in North London at the time, and that was the second biggest population of Orthodox Jewish women. So we're really connected because I had a few friends and their mums bought it, and then it became a thing. So that was a foray into that customer segment. Um, yeah, so that's where it really stemmed. A lot of people, wigs are super intimate. So if you trust a product, you're telling your friend about a product, and it spurred from there.
And where are you guys now? Like, so a few years into this, like, where is the Renatural at this moment?
Yeah, so in our first 3 years, we bootstrapped to just under $3 million in revenue. And then in 2024, we closed a pre seed round. And 2025, we closed a seed round. And now we are ready to launch into market to our waitlist. So excited for that.
Oh, phenomenal. All right. So, how big's the wait list?
So technically 40,000 people. A lot of them are previous wig fix buyers. They're really excited in just this new concept of a wig. So we're working on sharing more about that and then trying to have as many people in the space as possible.
This is incredible.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
as you mentioned, of course. So, again, I have a few friends who wear wigs, and their experience has been some really good, some not so good. And also some folks are like, well, is a wig right for me? Should I get a weave? Should I do something else? And should I just go, au natural? When you're finding your customers, how are you sort of kind of guiding them through that process and helping them understand that, like, yeah, this is an option for you?
Yeah, so I think it's really through the way we position the brand is more of a beauty brand than a wig brand. Like wigs are, to me, I might be a bit biased, but they're the epitome of beauty. You get instant results, instant transformation, and endless options. Like you could wear any color, any length, any texture that you want and transform yourself in seconds. I think that's really attractive to a lot of people for different reasons. So we really show the brand through that lens, and I think it attracts a customer that's a bit fearful, maybe that's the wrong word, a bit hesitant about wearing wigs, but makes it more inviting because they recognize the language, the content, the branding, and they're introduced to wigs that way.
And so when you say yours are, it's a new kind of material that you're using to make these wigs. So can this sort of like, can you go swimming with it? Like what are all the things that you can and what are the things you cannot do with this new product?
Yeah, so wearing lace, you have to pluck, bleach, tint, dye, adjust, and then lace to me would never look like skin. There's a lot of amendments you have to do. Does it look like skin under white light, under flash, under yellow light, under natural daylight? And there's just a lot of variation with lace. So I was like, what material would work um, on an everyday basis for our customer that they don't have to do those 16 steps of tinting, plucking, bleaching, dyeing, and all of that to make it look realistic. So we developed this bamboo polymer. The hairline part, so the first about 1 millimeter, is 10 times thinner than an average Swiss lace. So it creates a really immersive effect onto skin. And then our wigs are truly built for real life. So we've tested people playing tennis, aerial yoga, Pilates, swimming. We've done extensive testing. Over 103 different hair styling products have been tested on our wigs as well, bonding treatments. We really want this to just treat it like you would your natural hair.
This is amazing. And is there a variety of colors that you all will be offering once you guys officially launch and go full bore?
Yeah, so we did a soft launch in October last year. We launched with 3 colors, 3 textures, and a variety of lengths. So we're just working through getting those shipped out, and then we will have a relaunch in Q2 this year.
Oh, this is incredible. I'm so excited for you. Oh my gosh, girl.
Thank
All
you.
right. So, all right. So, looking back on what you've been able to do, what do you think was sort of like your moment of reset that got you to where you are now?
Um, I would say that well, this is pretty personal. I don't think I've ever like shared this, but I had a foot surgery, had a like condition, so I got that corrected, and then I was in a brace for 6 months. So I couldn't like walk. I had to like move back in with my parents, rely on them to help me do day to day like activities, and that was tough. That was so tough to be like hyper independent and go back to asking your mom
Being
to
a
help
kid
you stand.
again.
Yeah, right. After that, I moved to Lisbon, Portugal. I just wanted to like, I wanted a new place. Lisbon is beautiful, and it was just like the perfect place to be at the time. The Renatural was just selling the wig fix. We had just launched into retail, and there was a route. Retail really pressures you to launching a variety of different like SKUs, and we only had one SKU and 5 variants. So I was thinking, am I going to launch like another retail product that would sell well, but is my heart truly in this, or do I have this like wig robot concept bamboo polymer idea that I'm not an engineer, I know nothing about, but like I'm really really vested in this. So that was like a big decision, and obviously I went the second route, and it has not been easy to say the least, like an international move and raising VC funding. But I'm every time I look back, I'm just like proud that I didn't like give up on it.
No, I love that. And I think it's like sometimes a reset is sort of like a thing that happens at like work, and sometimes it's a thing that happens personally. And that ends up being the thing that sort of gets you a moment to sit down and be like, all right, what I've been doing, I want something new. And then you come out of it, you're like, I'll move to a new place. And it's so important that folks understand that like it's okay. Like if you have to sit down for a little bit and maybe take a step back, go live at home for a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Instead, it is an opportunity for you to actually take some time to think and then decide, hey, listen, what I've been doing hasn't worked. I want to try something different. And that's 110% okay, especially when we're talking about being as being a founder.
Yeah, 100%.
And so you've gotten this. And so like, so we're ready to launch in Q2, which is fast approaching. Um, and all the things that you've learned along the way, what advice would you think you would give your 18-year-old self?
Well, so make the decisions with less fear. I think I take the risk, but there's an equal amount of fear and worry that goes with it. And I wish that that fear and worry was less because it's going to work out either way, maybe in ways that you never expected.
That is a great answer because honestly, like I think we get you to be an entrepreneur. You have to be fearless. There is no like there isn't a safety net underneath you. So, and the earlier we can get that, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah, agreed.
Now for you, so we're a few months away from launching in Q2. What is like your kind of goal when you all do officially launch?
Um, so yeah, launching more product, more variants, and just making customers like happy. I really, so the reaction to a lot of this is like, this is kind of the wig I've been dreaming of or asking for or trying to make and amend. And I want more people to experience that.
Oh, that's beautiful. And again, there's so many people who absolutely, for any number of reasons, now need a wig and are gonna see that like, no, this is like no more little weird lace thing in the front here. Like y'all can, it'll sit because that is the worst possible thing. I'm always like, how y'all don't see that I can see the lace in the front. Like,
Right.
it, it,
Some people, want a more natural look, and I want to provide that for them.
Oh yeah, talk about disrupting an industry. Like, have you thought about like where or how you're gonna be able to be like, hey, competitors, we do something different, and so y'all can be over here, we'll be over here with a whole new product entirely. We've got bamboo over here. We are not lace. Like, how does that? How are you feeling about that side of the world?
I obviously you're keeping an eye on the competitors, and like the competitors are why the industry exists. Like honestly, all of these different companies in this space are why I have the stats that I can go and be like, this is a budgeting industry. I can go and raise funding based on that. So yeah, I think it's a huge market and everyone can collaborate and learn. There's some companies that do really well with like short hairdos or more textured hair. And I see a lot of like collaborative opportunities now that we're building a manufacturing platform more than just a brand in this space.
Awesome. What's one thing you're really grateful for right at this moment?
The sun, it's not snowing anymore. And it's actually quite a beautiful day. So really grateful for that. Yeah.
I love that. And last question for you. Do you have a give or an ask of the audience?
Um, a give. Share brands or research brands that you love more. And like if you can write a review, I would definitely do that. I think reviews never get old, and I write reviews for everything. I'm actually a top 1% Google reviewer. Like, I think it could really make someone's day if they own a restaurant or a brand, and let them know how you feel if you enjoy their product. And an ask would be anyone that wears wigs or is like interested in wearing wigs. If you could share the Renatural, that would be awesome.
Awesome. And honestly, you're so right about the reviews. I get my bras from Iris Lingerie in Brooklyn, and I wrote a review, and they called to thank me, and it
Oh,
was
that's
the
sweet.
nicest thing. And I was just like, you're right. Like there's something we forget how personal the world has sort of gone away from, and so that when you are thinking of them, especially when you have a really good experience, it's so very key to have those thank yous,
Yeah.
and acknowledgments. And also, if it sucks, girl, don't go here. Like, what we're gonna aim on the good side, but it is your top 1%er, so like it's always a good thing. And yeah, so I mean, you're amazing. I am blown away by what you've been able to do. I am so excited to see where you take Three Natural. I want to come see the robot. Absolutely. And just keep supporting you. And so we'll put details in the show notes for folks to get in touch with you and sign up for the waiting list and follow you on this journey. But thank you so much for being part of 29 Days of Magic. I truly magical. Oh my gosh, so lovely to meet you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this. You showcased a lot of amazing women.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And that is our show.